How then do they move forward? There is one idea today from the Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul, and they include the following. Small businesses pooling resources and coverage, no bailouts for insurance companies, no mandate and no waiting period if the coverage lapses for any American. Rand Paul was a no vote before the meeting yesterday at the White House. He's with us live now from Capitol Hill. And Senator, good morning to you. You met with the president as well yesterday, and I just rattled off a number of ideas that you have now for the Senate Majority Leader. Your colleague, in the literal sense, from the state of Kentucky, has he given you an audience on these ideas, Senator?
We haven't heard from anyone in Senate leadership yet, but I did have a good meeting with the president. I think he's very open to making the bill better. And basically, the bill right now keeps Obamacare. We've given the moderates in our caucus lots of money to keep spending. They get to keep the Obamacare subsidies. They get to keep the Obamacare regulations. They get to create a new federal super fund for insurance company bailouts. So those are all things that big spending Republicans want. Now, if they want conservatives to be on board, they have to start talking about, you know what, we promised repeal. Why don't we make the bill look a little more like a repeal?
Yeah, and you're pushing for that now, and I'm just trying to figure out how many are opposed. Yesterday, I think it was 6. Today, we listed 9. I don't know, maybe as many as 12 Republican senators. What's your number?
At least that. But I think what we need to do is pare back. We're trying to say we're going to do too much. Everybody says we're going to fix health care. Well, guess what? Healthcare was broken before Obamacare. It got worse with Obamacare. There are so many problems in healthcare. Obamacare death spiral is so desperate. I don't know that we're going to immediately be able to fix it. So what we ought to do is let's repeal the worst parts of Obamacare. And I'm not against working with Democrats, but no Democrat will vote to repeal any taxes or any regulations. So let's repeal that. Let's narrow the focus, but let's don't create some big new superstructure of the federal government involvement. If that's going to happen, work over 6 months in committee. If that includes Democrats, let's do that, and conservatives will probably oppose it. But for the repeal bill, let's make it more a repeal bill, and then let's move on and continue to study the issue and see if we can fix health care.
You mentioned your meeting with the president from yesterday. I want to play 2 sound bites, okay? First from Susan Collins, your Republican colleague from Maine. She said this yesterday afternoon on the Hill.
This president is the first president in our history who has had neither political nor military experience, and thus it has been a challenge to him to learn how to interact with Congress and how to push his agenda forward.
Now, I know you said you had a good meeting yesterday. What do you think of that comment about him learning as we go?
You know, I disagree with that assessment. I'd say if you compare President Trump to President Obama, President Trump has been much more engaged with Congress and has gotten a lot more done as far as being up here. Vice President Pence is here almost every week. A couple times a week we meet with him during our caucus meeting. We've repealed 15 regulations, over $60 billion worth of regulations. We got Justice Gorsuch through. So, no, I think that this president actually has a great deal of political savvy. And I think on this bill, he certainly moved it in the House. And I think with his participation, his ability to connect with people across the United States, and we haven't had anybody run for president that can get 25,000 people out. So people who mistake and think that he doesn't have political acumen, I think aren't watching the political scenery.
You're right that he got the House done in early May. Another comment, Laura Ingraham. She's basically arguing that it's all on you. It's all on Republicans now in Congress to fulfill the promise of repeal and replace. Watch this.
This is a complete embarrassment for the Republicans. This is poorly coordinated. It basically de minimis communications on the part of Republicans. In almost every state, you see the people revolting against what's happened on health care. They were supposed to deliver this.
Wow. And will you?
Yeah. Well, what I would say, and one reason the bill is so unpopular is half the country are Democrats, half are Republican. All the Democrats hate it. But interestingly, about half the Republicans hate it. So that means 75% of the public hates it. The half of Republicans that hate it are conservatives like myself who went to rally after rally after rally saying we're going to repeal Obamacare, and now we're not repealing it, we're keeping it. So these weak-kneed Republicans up here who are saying, oh, we got to spend more money and we got to keep Medicaid forever, the expansion, they need to get over themselves and they need to say, remember what they were for, repealing Obamacare.
Yeah, history shows it's hard to pull back on an entitlement quickly. Yes or no? Does it get done, Senator?
Something's going to be done by August 1st. There will be a vote, and I actually predict that we will get to a majority. I'd like to be part of that, but only if the bill repeals Obamacare. I won't vote for it if it keeps Obamacare.
There you have it, Senator. Thank you for your time. Rand Paul, the Republican from Kentucky. Thank you for coming back here.
Thank you.